Hello, and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. From today, we will be looking at five very new beers from Kyoto Brewing Company in Kyoto, Japan. And they are one of the better breweries in Japan, in my estimation, if not the best. And they have been around for about 5 years now. In fact, they are just past their fifth anniversary. They started in 2015 and showed up at the Kyoto Craft Beer Festa and poured their first beer, which was appropriately called Hajimemashite, which is nice to meet you in Japanese. And they have been around for 5 years and gradually grown into one of the better breweries in Japan. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They really started out as one of the better breweries in Japan, and they have consistently been good. And I should give a full disclosure. I happen to know the three founders of the brewery. They are an American, a Canadian, and a Welshman. And they met when they were on the JET program, which provides language teaching professionals to high schools and junior high schools throughout Japan. And they met when they were quite a bit younger in northern Japan. And the main brewer, head brewer, apparently had this dream of opening a brewery. And he came to Kyoto to live, and he worked at a university in Kyoto. And the other two worked in Tokyo in various financial businesses, financial firms. And one of them decided to get an MBA. And in fact, one night in a bar in Kyoto, I met the head of his MBA program, who had been an old friend of mine from a long time ago. And he mentioned that he had been his MBA advisor, and his master's MBA thesis project was designing a business, which is a brewery. And it was the design for this Kyoto brewery. In the meantime, the head brewer went to the U.S. for training and also did an internship in Lost Abbey in Southern California, and also did another internship at Shiga Kogen in Nagano Prefecture in Japan, which is one of the better breweries in Japan for sure. And he was also a very active home brewer in Kyoto, and we would occasionally meet, and he would give us his home brews, and we would enjoy them and comment on them, and he was an excellent home brewer. Anyway, right out of the gate in 2015, they started making great beers, and they haven't looked back. And today we're going to look at five of their new beers, and this came in a set. They recently started a couple of clubs that you can join to get monthly deliveries of beer, and I joined the two different sets, clubs, one with very special kind of limited edition beers, and one with which will feature just their regular new beers. They have often some seasonals that they put out. This beer, well, actually, I'll announce it in the next episode here, but Kyoto Brewing is one of the better breweries in Japan. We're going to look at five new beers from them. And now, let's take a look at the fourth beer from Kyoto Brewing that I have in this set. And actually, I think I said I was going to do five reviews here. The fifth one, I'm kind of saving. It's a collaboration with Heretic Brewing in the U.S., and it came as part of a very limited set, and a friend of mine who is probably the biggest Kyoto beer fan in the entire world wasn't able to get it, so I'm hanging on to it until we can get together sometime and sample that. So sorry about that. This is a very a table saison with made with Heretic Brewing in the U.S. And In any case, today we're going to take a look at a very unusual beer, probably one of the most unusual beers that Kyoto Brewing has made in their 5 years of history. And in fact, it is kind of a 5th anniversary beer. And this beer is called, in Japanese, Goji no Hedatari. They translate it in English as 5 degrees of separation. And you might remember the movie with Will Smith of some years ago with a similar title. This is for, of course, 5 referring to their 5th anniversary separation, because we are in the middle of social distancing at this point in time. So a 5th anniversary beer with a couple of themes, and one of them is the idea of helping friends during this time of isolation and economic hardship for many, many people. And so what Kyoto Brewing did was go to some of the people that they had worked with and sourced materials or ingredients from in the past, and include those in the beer. So this beer, again called 5 Degrees of Separation, Goji no Hedatari, includes several things. It includes coffee beans from 2 local coffee makers in Kyoto. One is called Kurasu, and the other is called Kamogawa Coffee. And those are 2 Kyoto coffee roasters, so they included beans from both of them. And then they included cacao nibs from a chocolate maker that they'd worked with before in Tokyo, which is called Minimal Chocolate. And they include vanilla beans from a patisserie called Patisserie Esu, and I'm not sure if that is in Kyoto or not. So they source these ingredients from the makers around Japan and put it into this beer. A second theme, they say on their website, is visual deception. What color would you expect a beer that had coffee and chocolate in it, cacao nibs and vanilla? If you said brown or black, I would agree with you. However, their role in this was to add flavor but not necessarily appearance, and so they are trying to make something that tastes different from the way it appears, so we'll see the color. You can even see it right through here. It is not dark at all. And they used, another point about this beer is they used the technique which they learned from Heretic, the main brewer at Heretic. Is called polygyl, I think, or polygyl, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a technique. It's also known as reiterated mashing. And in this technique, what you do is take your grain bill, and instead of putting it all in boil at once, you mash half of it and then take off that wort and mash the second half of the grain into the wort. So you're kind of doing it double. And so the first half is made with water, as a normal beer is, and then the second half is mashed into the wort from the first half. And so this is, I think, the first time they've used that technique as well. In any case, this has only 1 rating on RateBeer, and that is pretty high, 4.1, and I didn't check Untapped yet. It is, the style is American Strong Ale, and it is a 9% beer, so it's pretty hefty all the way around. Let's give this one a go, shall we? I'm looking forward to this. Okay, so it does not look like a beer that has coffee and chocolate in it at all. Very deep copper color with a solid finger of kind of dark off-white sort of head. Completely clear. See the kind of slow carbonation rising up. Let's give this one a go for aroma. Oh my, oh my. Yeah. Yeah, I get the coffee right away. Maybe some chocolate too. Coffee definitely stands out. And this kind of rich, fruity malt that is maltiness that's not too strong, but it's certainly there behind everything. My. Okay. Yeah. Definitely chocolate. Coffee. And, it's very nice because the coffee is not scorched. Far too many beers that include coffee, they put it in too long. It should be steeped just, very briefly, just to add its character. If you keep coffee in too long at too high of a temperature, it's going to produce a scorched kind of character. You probably have had this in some coffee beers. This does not have that at all. Extremely rich. 9% alcohol, you don't get it at all. It's very well hidden completely. You feel some warmth here, but you don't really sense that it is that high in alcohol. This has a nice fruity richness throughout. All the flavors are blended very, very well. This is an exceptional beer. I kind of want to just stop talking and drink it, Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. It has a richness that kind of takes it to the edge of not beer, to the edge of something else, something mildly spirits-like, but it's a tremendously rich and flavorful brew. All these flavors come through. Vanilla is there. Yeah, it is there. The elements are there. It's kind of hard to pick them apart because they blend so well in this beer. This is one of the best beers I have had from Kyoto Brewing, and that's saying a lot, believe me. A wonderful, wonderful beer. I'm glad I have another bottle of it, and you should give this a try if you have a chance. If you live in Japan, please go on their website and you can find some of their beers for sale now. As many brewers are doing, they are trying to boost their sales, their lost sales from bars and restaurants by selling online. And this is a brewery that deserves your attention for sure. Kyoto Brewing, 5 degrees of separation, Goji no Hetatari at 9% strong ale. Give it a go, please. That's it for today. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. We're going to move on to another Japanese craft beer brewery in our next video, and I hope you tune in for that. Hope you're doing well. Stay healthy, wash your hands, right? Eat well, sleep well, get some exercise. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.